Okay, we are back for episode 2 of Bridgerton, Shock and Delight. So in this video, we are going to be reviewing and talking about episode 2 of Bridgerton. Of course, while I do my makeup, this is the episode that's all about Simon Bassett. We discover why he behaves the way he behaves. Let's go right into it. Okay, so just remember that all the products I'm using will be listed in the description box below. So if you're interested in seeing what they are, you can go ahead and check. But I will just do a little flash on the screen before I use them. So as soon as this episode starts, we start with a flashback.
I am going in, Your Grace.
No place for a lady in there.
Someone must be with her.
And this is the Duke being born. And we instantly see how evil his dad is, because his mother is giving birth, and of course there's no kind of medication at this point. She's screaming and suffering. He's not even bothering to see how she's doing, to see if she's okay. And he finally goes into the room, and all he cares about is,
What is it? What is it?
do I have a son? I need an heir. That's all he wants. All he wants is that he has an heir to the family.
I have a son.
I have a son! I finally get a son.
As soon as the baby's born and he discovers it's a boy, he's celebrating, and he's like, Simon's poor mom is dying on her bed. He does not shed a tear. He's just like,
A perfect son. Simon Arthur Henry Fitzranulph Bassett, the next Duke of Hastings.
clearly they had no relationship. All he wanted was a son. And he's one of those people, just like, as soon as you look at him, you just know there's something wrong with him. And so we also see that Simon has never cleaned up her room since it was covered, since before he moved into the place.
Your Grace, would you like us to arrange the Duchess's room for you?
No, that will not be necessary.
Then we go to the dramatic queen. And can I just say, in most TV shows, I really hate it when they say the name of the episode or the movie in the movie. But the way they do it in Bridgerton is just, it's integrated so well that I actually really enjoy it when they say the name.
Shock and delight.
So anyway, we have the dramatic queen reading Lady Whistledown in her bath.
It has arrived, Your Majesty. At once. At once. Miss Daphne Bridgerton.
And we have Daphne getting ready, and the Duke is also leaving a woman's bed. As we know, he is a rake, but also he's not actually dating Daphne. So men in this time, just like men now, can do whatever they want without being questioned. So he's getting ready.
Promenade.
Him and Daphne are smiling, and although they are pretending, clearly we notice are they starting to like each other? Of course. So they are walking proudly and busy negotiating about how many balls they are going to attend.
I shall grant you 4.
6 balls.
5.
6.
And of course the mothers are watching them the whole time, being like, oh, let's see when he's going to pop the question. Is he going to do this? Is he going to do this? And here we start getting into glimpses of how little Daphne knows, because she asks him to send her flowers.
You must send flowers today. Expensive ones.
And he's like,
If I were truly courting you, I would not need flowers. Only 5 minutes alone with you in a drawing room.
and she, of course, by her response, you can tell that she has no idea what that even means. And then over at the Featherington house, somehow, Penelope has figured out that Marina is pregnant, as last episode sort of ended.
How did it happen, Mama? Is it to be a baby?
Even at their age, ready to get married, they have no idea what sex is. They have no idea how people can get pregnant. And they're trying to figure out from the mother, and she's like,
That will be enough.
And then now here we have a conversation between Eloise and Penelope, and this is where I continue to fall more in love with Eloise. Penelope tells Eloise that one of the maids is pregnant. Obviously, she doesn't want to spill that it's actually Marina. And Eloise is like, which one of your maids is married? And she's like, she's not married. And she's like, what?
How did she become a child if she's not married?
I do not know.
Otherwise, how can we make sure it never happens to us? We have accomplishments to acquire.
We have more important things to do, like go to university. Those are real achievements, not looking pretty and getting married.
Do you know what is an accomplishment? Attending university.
I think out of all the lines we've seen from Eloise, this is by far my favorite line, combined with the motions when she walks into the room and she's like, how does one come to be with child?
How does a lady come to be with child?
They don't answer her and she's like, I thought one had to be married, but apparently that's not even a requirement.
I thought one needed to be married. Apparently it's not even a requirement. Eloise, that is more than enough.
They literally have no idea. They cannot make it make sense. All they know is you get married, somehow you have a child, and she tries to ask her brothers, though she doesn't necessarily ask them, she just knows they know.
I take it the two of you? No?
Do not look at me.
Obviously, their mother doesn't even want them to entertain the idea of explaining. And also by Daphne's response, we also see that clearly she also doesn't know where children come from, even though she's the oldest sibling at this point, who's a girl, who's ready to get married. And then now we get to the Duke in the boxing ring, and boxing was crazy at this time. They had no protection, no padding, literally straight hits to the face. We get to see that this is where the Duke kind of lets out his frustrations, and we see one of his other best friends who is battling it out with him, training with him in the gym, and clearly they are such close friends.
You truly danced with a Bridgerton girl. Twice. Remind me again why you were the first person I chose to reacquaint myself with. You missed me.
Anthony goes to fight with Simon in the ring, and clearly Simon does not tell him the actual reason why he's hanging out with Daphne.
Are you courting my sister?
Should I not be courting your sister?
I have arranged everything with Nigel Berbrooke.
Your problem is that Berbrooke is a wholly unworthy suitor for Miss Bridgerton.
This is the only part I do agree with Anthony. Not that I like it, and obviously I want the Duke and Daphne to be together at this point, but we understand where Anthony's coming from because he knows his best friend and he knows he's never going to get married. He doesn't want to get married. Okay, and now we see the Duke when he's a child. Now, let me just preface this. I know that this is a very sad moment because, come on, the Duke's father is evil, like pure evil incarnate. Okay, with his wig and his outfits and his expressions and everything about him just drives me insane. But I will say, I do like his character, not as a person, just because he plays it so well that as soon as you see him, you hate him. And when I was watching this, some of it just made me laugh, not in a way that it's funny. It's just that when you watch a lot of supernatural shows, you get a little bit desensitized to evil characters. And he reminds me of Michael from the originals or Vampire Diaries, if you watched that more. Klaus's dad, how he says, boy. And he's always like, you're a disappointment. He talks like everything is a fact and everything is meant to really hurt your feelings. When he tries to speak to the Duke, and clearly he barely sees him. Even then, he's just like, I wanted an heir. Now all of you take care of them. So even before he knew that the Duke had any kinds of problems, delayed development or anything like that, he still didn't care that much as long as he became the Duke. So he goes to see his son and the Duke is not speaking. And then when he tries to talk, he has a stammer and he's like, what is this? He's an imbecile.
He's 4 years old. He should be able to speak. Talk to me, damn you.
You are scaring
And
me.
if that's what it should take, I shall get a sound from him still.
No.
What did you say?
Do not.
What is he doing? He's an imbecile.
Your Grace.
He is an idiot. Hastings' name cannot land in the quivering hands of a half-wit.
This is why the Duke behaves the way he is, because clearly his father hated him. And this moment was just like, how can someone be this evil to their child? But there are people who actually this evil to their children, so it's really not that far-fetched. This is like a very dramatic interpretation of it, but there are people who really are this evil. Can I just say all the kids who act as like the child version of the Duke, I think it's just 2, maybe 3. They are so good, such good actors. I love this little kid. Like, you just feel so sorry for him as soon as you see him. Every role in this show is just so perfectly cast. Like, I can't imagine anyone playing any other role. The only person I would imagine playing a different role in this show is the man who works for the Queen. He's like her right-hand man, the right-hand man, and he's like very, very petty. For some reason, I can imagine Jeffries from The Fresh Prince playing that part really well. I don't know if it's just me. The episode goes on and we see Penelope Featherington going to visit Marina. She's trying to find out where babies come from. I will save this comment for the end of the entire series, but I find it very hard to believe that Penelope doesn't know where babies come from. Other people I understand, like Daphne and Eloise, but I find it very hard to believe that Penelope doesn't know this. In case you haven't finished the series, I'd rather leave it to the end. So anyway, she asks Marina how babies are made, and clearly Marina has also been taught to give vague answers because she's like, love. And what, cake?
May I ask, how did it happen?
Cake?
Cake.
Sir George Crane sneaked me a wrapped bundle of cake and biscuits.
Your condition then, it was brought about by...
Love. It was love, Penelope.
And then we go to the Queen, and here's this petty man I was talking about who works for the Queen, who really reminds me of Jeffries.
I could tell you a delicious tidbit about our former scullery maid.
I don't care about a dish wench. I wish to be entertained.
Yes, so the Queen has a woman doing like complete acrobatics in front of her, and she's still like, no one is married yet, I'm bored.
How is it possible that there has not been a single compelling betrothal yet this season? Terribly unexciting.
Okay, so now we get to another flashback. Lady Danbury going to visit the Duke when he was a child. He's like slightly older here. Yes, I was right. There are 3 people who play him. But Lady Danbury goes to visit him and she's like,
you are not dead after all.
My lady, we were not expecting your visit.
Lady Danbury, my lord.
He does not respond to her and she's like, is he just rude or what's going on?
I see you've not learnt any manners.
I can not eat.
She asks him if he knows how to ride, if he knows how to fence and all this stuff. And he just nods his head, but he doesn't really answer her. And so he stutters and he says he can't speak. And she's like, yes, you can. I understood you.
I made myself frightening. I sharpened my wit, my wardrobe, and my eye. You can speak. I understood you well enough, and I will help you to overcome this stammer of yours. You must promise me that when you step into the light, you will be worthy of the attention you command.
So she sharpened her wit and her wardrobe and became the most fearless thing in the room. And so everybody respected her, and everybody does respect her. And so as soon as we see this, you're like, oh, now I really understand how the Duke behaves the way he does. Because if you look at him, you can see that he walks a certain way. He's very confident. He has perfect posture. He looks way taller than he actually is just because of the way he walks. He commands the room. Like as soon as he walks in, you can feel his presence. This woman is such a great character. I don't even know. Like, she's a great actress, a great character. I love how she speaks. Like, every single word she says is a fact. That's how she sounds when she speaks. And then here the Duke and Daphne are pretending to enjoy themselves, but clearly you can see they're really enjoying themselves. They are laughing. So now Berbrooke is gone to Anthony and he's trying to make sure that Anthony remembers that she is promised to him, and the Duke is on the side busy making lots of side comments.
To avoid any kind of embarrassment.
Rather late for that.
Easy, Berbrooke.
I shall remind the Duke is none of his concern.
Perhaps you're not the authority on what matters concern me, nor on the matter of Lord Berbrooke's character.
And Anthony's like, this is none of your concern, blah, blah, blah. And basically the Duke says,
I presume he failed to mention how he got that purple eye. He was careless with his honor. He attempted something last night I shan't dignify with words when your sister planted a facer.
And finally now Anthony listens and he's like, you will not marry my sister, don't touch my sister.
You will never speak to my sister again.
And then Daphne gets mad at the Duke, like, I understand it, but then I don't. Like, you are not going to do anything, so why are you mad? Now you don't have to marry this man.
All you did was underestimate Nigel's entitlement.
So after the ball, the Duke leaves. Of course, who follows him? Berbrooke. Berbrooke starts talking about the Duke's father, and obviously everybody knows that's like a sore spot for him.
Because I think it really ought to be up to Miss Bridgerton.
When I am buying a horse, I do not negotiate with the horse. Unless you have already had her.
Stop talking.
I've heard the stories of your father, Hastings. I know how badly he wanted a son.
And the Duke, he knocks him out. Like, he really, really goes in and hits him.
Should it?
And I'm pretty sure that's what he wanted at the same time. And then we cut to another flashback of the Duke when he's even older, when he goes to visit his dad, and he literally has not seen his dad in, like, I don't know, but it's been a long time.
This is a most unwelcome intrusion.
I'm receiving high marks in all of my studies, sir. I ride, and I fence, and I shoot.
You are my worst failure.
Did you receive my letters?
It is a deep enough wound to live with the knowledge that you shall one day inherit Hastings. You are as useless as your mother proved to be.
And his dad is still like, and then to make it worse, he called Lady Danbury a bitch. What?
Which is out of my sight and with your bitch mouth shut.
What? You do not disrespect that woman.
You need not feel your evident worry.
I love this little moment, and everybody's looking at them, and he likes to pretend like it's bothering him, but clearly he's enjoying it as well. Finally now we see that Berbrooke has been tarnished in the papers. It turns out he actually has a child with a maid who he doesn't even take care of, and so he's forced to leave.
I would not be surprised if Lord Berbrooke were called away to the country on alleged business.
And here we have Daphne and Simon dancing to In My Blood by Shawn Mendes.
And you should know something about me, Your Grace. I will not have this go wrong.
By the way, there were over 7,000 pieces made for this show. Like, everything you see was actually made. The jewelry, the dresses, like from head to toe. Everything was made for these people. Daphne has 109 dresses that she wears. Within 8 episodes, she wore 109 dresses. Every single scene we see her in, she's in a different dress. And also the queen had 0 continuity. So every scene that we see her in, she's actually wearing a different wig every single time. That is crazy. And then I just want to point out another thing with the lighting. What can I just say? They did so well with the lighting. Like, Daphne is very like innocent and bright, and she doesn't know anything, although she's like strong and powerful in her own way. She really doesn't know much, but she's very like innocent, and the light is always like perfectly light on her side. And then with Simon, he always wears like black and reds and like dark colors, and
You should call me by my name.
Very well.
the light is always darker on his side because he's like, you know, he's got secrets. He's got his own like dark side that we don't even know about yet. Here we have the beautiful moment where he caresses Daphne's back, and you're just like, you can just see it all coming together. You can't wait. The pacing of this show is amazing. And then here we get to a very important scene where the Duke goes to visit his dad as an adult right before he dies. And boy, were they last goodbyes. When I saw this, I was like, oh, he's going to kill him. He's definitely going to kill him. But this is where we see that he made a promise to his father that
The great Hastings name shall continue.
To make you a vow, I will never marry. I will never sire an heir. Hastings' line will die with me. Are my words clear enough for you, Father? Speak.
And that is literally the only thing his dad cares about. So that was literally instant death. His dad is dying, and I love it when he goes to his dad and he's like, speak.
You fucking monster. Speak.
I was like, good riddance, thank you, goodbye. I will say where it gets like really juicy, where all the drama starts happening, is of course always closer to the end. But episode 5, that's where you're like, this show is even more risque than I thought. Let me know in the comments below, who is your favorite character aside from the main characters? Of course, Daphne and Bridgerton. The show is structured like that. You have to you have no other choice, just the way it's made. They're the main character. Of course, you like them. But aside from the main character, let me know in the comment section below, who is your favorite character? It's very hard for me to choose. I love Eloise, and I also love Lady Danbury. But if I had to choose one for the end of this episode, I will say Eloise was the star of this episode. Let me know in the comment section below who your favorite is. Let me know if you want more makeup tutorials, videos, more Bridgerton. You guys know the drill. Comment the B in the comment section below if you want episode 3, because like I said, I don't want to post videos for you guys if you don't want to watch them, okay? If you don't want to watch them, I'll find something else to post. But if you do, comment the B if you want episode 3. Hit my face right there if you didn't subscribe in the beginning. Hit my face here to subscribe to my other channel. Watch the 2 videos on the side of the screen right here if you'd like to see any of my other videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!